All right. So welcome to Loot Shooter Weekly. It's Thursday.
All day, man.
Thursday.
All
All
day.
day.
All day Thursday.
And I'm gamertag Burt Reynolds. And with me, as always, is the one and only golden voice of gaming, Negan Killjoy.
Hello,
Ladies and
Bert.
gentlemen.
Hello.
Is that a
Doing
red?
emote. It's been a while. I forgot how to do emotes in this game.
Is that a red
It's been a
assault
minute.
rifle on your back? Yeah, there
A
we
red
go.
assault rifle. It runs red with the blood of my enemies.
I don't even know what to say to that. I like it. Oh yeah, look at that, man. You did upset some wolves down there.
I did. I did. So, how are you doing tonight? Other than going to the wolves, I just upset. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. Or at least good enough. I'll feel
Nice.
better when those wolves are dead. How are you
Yeah,
doing tonight,
definitely.
Negan?
Doing okay, man. It's been a longer day than I expected it to be. So we're doing. We might be looking forward to a beer. There's always that.
There is always that. It's coming.
That's right. That's right. So no, it's still going well. It was a little bit long for a day. Even though I woke up late, although I'm not sure how that happened. You wake up late, you get behind for the whole day kind of thing. Don't want wolves, don't want wolves.
Let's go prone camo here for a second. So
Yep,
tonight,
yep.
yeah, because we got drone flying over, which we'll talk about in a second. Tonight we're actually playing not from our normal game that we play from. Usually we've been playing a lot of Borderlands 3. Love that game.
Having some
But you
fun
know,
with
we
it.
we do cover some other games, and this being one of them. Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, or Wildlands. We also, frequently will play the Division. In this particular case, we're here. We also, I should say, we also play Destiny 2, and so this is obviously, Breakpoint. So we're gonna play this tonight. Because we've been playing a lot of this week, and for a variety of reasons. One, we just never really finished a lot of stuff out in here. And we've talked about some of the changes, but we didn't really spend a lot of time with them when they made them because we've been busy with other games.
Right.
And this week seemed like a good week to do it because Borderlands 3 is going to get an update next Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday ish.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like a good week since the Bloody Harvest event was winding down, everything else to go play something different. So I would say that's why we've been playing this, I think. Just give
Yep.
ourselves a little break.
Yep, I agree with you. Been a nice
Yeah.
change of pace.
It has been a nice change of pace. I've been enjoying it a lot. And so we're doing a series of missions. I think it's season 3. They added kind of a seasonal model for this, where they introduce, probably, I would imagine, like 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours of content per season, something around that, I would
Yeah,
kind of
about that.
assume.
Yeah, they're calling them episodes. So this is episode
Episode.
3 is what they're doing
That's
as
right.
far as that goes. Yeah, but they've been adding
Yeah.
a little bit as they go. So they did the big one. The
I'm
big one was episode 2 with Sam Fisher, which we haven't done, which is
right.
surprising because we're just talking about the changes upcoming to this game are going to make it more Splinter Cell feeling. And we both, I think, I enjoyed the hell out of Splinter Cell. I enjoyed the hell of playing that game when it was around. I
I was
think
gonna
you
say,
did
I think
too.
Splinter Cell is one of my favorite probably franchises of all time.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
Metal
sure.
Gear Solid and Splinter Cell, very kind of similar games, and love
Yeah, they
those
are.
games. So
Yep.
they did add a lot of kind of Splinter Cell esque aspects to this game already, and that's I think part of what we've been enjoying. There's a little bit more of that stealth element. You see both of us, I think, are rolling with heavy silencers on our guns, and sneak around a lot, take a lot of long range shots at enemies and things. And but they're adding a bunch of stuff to this on Monday, where they're going to make it even more kind of Splinter Cell esque, true dark mode, I think, or real dark mode
Yeah,
or something.
darkest nights is what they're calling it. Darkest nights.
Yeah, where you'll be able to use the light and shadows and the dark to your effect much more. And I think they're dialing up the, what do you call it? Um, what are they the ability to avoid aggro, I guess would be the best way to put it, in this, and kind of that threat detection model that they have, and several other different things, not the least of which is you'll be able to clean your guns.
There you go.
But it
Yes,
does
yes.
sound like
As we discussed also,
welcome changes. Not that
Yes.
one, not the one I'm thinking of, but there are many other welcome changes coming to this game.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the whole cleaning your guns thing. Just not sure what that means exactly. Have I been missing something that I'm not cleaning my guns, or what am I missing?
I think a lot of people play this game because it's kind of gun porn. We've talked about that. That's like if you're the kind of person, I imagine if Saggy, our friend Saggy Meatwad, came back and played this, he would geek out for hours just in the gunsmith, right?
Right.
Just knowing him, because he's big firearm owner, has a lot of his own guns. I think he'd probably really nerd out. And so I guess if you're the kind of person who nerds out on guns, then probably care that they're clean.
I suppose.
My guess is that would be my guess as to what it is. But I put the title of stream tonight as 5 days, because 5 days from now the new Xbox launches. 5 days from now, the new update Beyond Light launches for Destiny 2. The new
free update if you have Game Pass.
If you have Game Pass, yes, that is true story. And the new update for Borderlands launches, Arms Race, and
God,
this
so
one's I know that one's gonna be awesome because you are a big fan of survival in the Division, and they more or less just straight up ripped off survival from the Division. So if you're a fan of survival, but you're not a Borderlands 3 fan, might be the time to pick up a copy of Borderlands 3.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, 4-man. Yeah, it's survival without the PvP element, from what I understand. It's only whoever your team against the environment is what it is. So that's kind of cool.
Correct.
I think that's a good way to do it.
Like a PvE version of survival. Although survival had a PvE mode too, so that's, we usually played the PvP version, but they did have a PvE version. So I think that'll be really cool.
Snaking our supplies, couldn't have that.
Right. So that gives you 5 days to get to max level in Borderlands 3, which, if you ask me, that can be done. I've done it a few times. It can be done. So, yeah, there's what you got to do for the next 5 days. Otherwise, obviously many different options there, and then the new consoles. So next week's a big week for gaming. Unfortunately, it's not the big week I think you and I were also both hoping for, which was going to be, originally, I believe, way back. Cyberpunk was supposed to be a launch title. Then it got moved further into the month of November, and now it's been moved to December. So we were both looking forward to that game, and that is sadly not going to happen next week. So later in this month either.
It makes me so sad. I need a drink.
Yeah,
that's how sad that makes me. I need a drink.
That drives you to drinking. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So on that note, it's your week to go first. What are you consuming this evening?
Was I being too terribly subtle that time?
You're good.
This week is actually, I'm going with an Allagash, which is the Maine, out of Maine. Allagash, they call it their North Sky, and it's a North Sky Stout. So it's the winter months, and I'm drifting away from some of the Oktoberfests. I'm going into the stouts now, and this one they describe as, like a clear night lit by stars, this silky Belgian-inspired stout balances light notes of fruit and sweetness with roasty malt, inspired by late evenings spent around crackling campfire. North Sky is brewed to merge lightness and darkness into super sippable stout. So North Sky by Allagash.
That sounds delicious.
It does, doesn't it?
I have reviewed. I reviewed Allagash White. I think on stream. That's one of my all-time favorite summer beers. I've never had their stout. I think all we can get here is the white, the Allagash White. I don't know that I've ever seen anything other than that. So that's interesting. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. That sounds
keep an eye for
very good.
First time I've seen it in a while. I think was grabbed at Trader Joe's. But yeah, it's definitely a stout, pouring out like a stout. Oh yeah, look at that, nice and dark. Nice.
Well, on the
Right.
note of dark
What are you doing? What are you
dark
doing
beers,
tonight, my friend?
yeah. So I had told you I decided not to do a craft brew tonight.
Right.
I'm not doing it. We're gonna have a cheap beer night one of these weeks. We keep talking about that, where we bring the worst adjunct lager we can possibly find. We will do that. We just haven't done it yet. I did not go cheap. I just did not go craft brew. I am doing Stella Artois Midnight Lager, which is their black lager, and it's a limited edition. So
Interesting.
not a craft brew, but
But a unique brew.
different limited edition.
Okay.
And it's a little bit lighter of a alcohol content, and I'm sure a lot less hoppy than the stuff we're used to drinking. Because for whatever reason, with microbrews, even with the Oktoberfest we've been doing, there's quite a bit of hoppiness to a lot of those, right? Because they're just because they're craft brews. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. So I think we can go back to saying cheers, right?
I
Because
do
it's
believe,
not
yes. Not October anymore. But cheers.
cheers. Yeah. Well, that's good. So, we have a objective here in episode 3. You tagged this guy.
Yeah.
Blood of the Father. Reach the Round Top Bivouac to New Sterling.
And next year with Online Test with Destiny, with all the stuff that they're shutting down, vaulting a bunch of stuff, turning off like the left side of the map they're turning off in Destiny.
Yeah, I think it's quite a few planets are going away. Gambit is going away, right? I believe. Whole bunch of the PvP maps are being retired, and a whole bunch of new ones are coming on board. We get back to Cosmodrome, and I think a bunch of the old Destiny 1 strikes are coming back. So that'd be fun.
That's for those of you who were from Destiny 1, which everybody talked about the strikes in Destiny 1 like they're really well done from if I recall. I didn't play Destiny 1, but you guys who all did play it seemed to enjoy the hell out of them and talked about how well they were done.
Yes. So there'll be a lot of nostalgia. If there's nothing else, there'll be a ton of nostalgia, right? With Destiny 1.
That's probably what they're going for more than anything right now. Trying to win back the fans is what they're trying to do, I think.
I'm going to assume that's true. Yeah, I think that's a fair bet. I mean, I've long abandoned Destiny 2, right? I haven't played it in probably... I mean, I dip back in like once a month just to kind of poke around for a minute, make sure all my stuff's still there. But I'm so far behind now that it's like, well, I don't even know where to start. I'm probably I got to be 100 light levels below where I'm supposed to be or something, I would imagine.
Right. Yeah. Well, and what I'm hoping is when they do release Beyond Light, that, and you've mentioned it before, but hopefully they have either some sort of catch-up mechanic or some sort of way that you can get, if you have been out of it for a while, that you can easily get back into it, know what you're supposed to do, know the next steps and all stuff like that, because that's what I struggle with Destiny 2. If you leave it for a while, you get back into it, you just don't have any clear path to get to the next fire level. It's not, you have to cheat and go on their Reddits and all this other stuff. It's just, I wish they would make it a little easier in game to find that information out rather than having to search everything for Reddit.
Correct. It's funny that you say that that's what you struggle with most. I struggle most with the checklist, but that's, just me.
Yeah, there's that too. That's true. It's true.
Checklist, bounty stacking. People are bounty stacking this week. We've had some conversations on Discord about that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically just completing all the checklists. Like that kind of stuff. I can't. I'm not into it. But I will. I mean, I am so nostalgic about that game, that Destiny 1, that I'm gonna be forced to go back to Destiny 2 just to experience the Destiny 1 on some level. So
right, and like I said, I think that's why they do it. I think they're trying to bring back some of the gamer base and stuff like that. So, and get people to stop saying, "Oh, Destiny 1 did so much better." They can actually bring the stuff back, make it look and update it for Destiny 2, and see how it rolls in Destiny 2. You're in a break
Which
camp? Or...
I am, yes. Go for it. Which, I've made the argument that that's what Division 2 needs to do as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many times. That, I think that if Division 2 really wanted to fix things, that's what they would do. But they have not, so,
Still struggling.
Is
Still
what it
trying
is.
to figure it out. Still trying to find their way. They're doing a little bit better. Summit was a good step. I think Summit was a fun move they added. But yeah, there's core problems with the game that they still need to work through and work out. And there's, like you talked about, there's little things they could do. They could bring back the optimization station. And
Right.
all right, off we go.
They could do that. They could do that. They could bring back the gear sets from 1. Get people all nostalgic. I think they thought when they added New York, people would get all nostalgic. And to an extent, people did.
Oh yeah,
For a
I
minute.
totally did.
But the core elements of the game being where they were, I think it was not quite enough at that time to get people excited about the game again. And we'll see how that goes with, Destiny 2. Because if all they do is bring back the location. Now, again, they've said they're bringing back at least the Strikes and Nightfalls. But if you just bring back a location, that's not. I think the Division has already proved that that's not enough to make you all nostalgic more than for a couple minutes. If they bring back some of the core elements of it, that'll be different.
Yeah, no, New York, and they didn't spend enough time in New York. That was the other part that I think people complained about Division 2 when they brought it back. It was like, great, you have the expansion, you spend a few hours doing that, and then there was no reason to go back. There was no reason to be back inside New York, and you're back at DC, which was disappointing because New York had still, and they did another good job with New York. The claustrophobic feeling, the environment of New York, I think even in Division 2 version was still well done.
Yes. So, very well done.
Didn't give you a reason to hang out there. It was like, come on, I want more. Come on.
Yep, you were there for all of 5 hours worth of content, and then you don't have a compelling reason to go back.
Exactly.
So what do we got going on here?
Deactivate the first bomb.
Oh, you know what I remembered that is coming with the next update to this? The ability to mass deconstruct and or mass sell, like, whatever you want to call it, crafting materials. That's could be so nice. If you haven't ever tried to sell any of the crafting materials you pick up, you have to sell them one by one today, and that is, oh my gosh. Like, if you got 500 or something, it's like, yeah, I'm never going to sell that. Like, you know what I mean? It's just no way I would ever do that.
Why is that something that they have to, any game these days has to add that as a feature later? It's like, you should really figure it out, people. Everybody wants that ability from the start. Right from the start. Let me mass delete and mass sell whenever I need to mass delete or mass sell. Stop making it an update. Stop making it like a patch note that you feel like hey, we accomplished something. It's like, no, it should be there from the beginning, you sons of bitches. From the beginning.
So you are not getting the new gen of Xbox, at least not right away.
Not at launch. I am actually going to wait. Let some of the inherent bugs. I think both PlayStation and Xbox are probably going to do a good job. They're going to be solid releases. I don't think they're going to be majorly wrong with them. But I always kind of like letting the pre-orders and the first launchers kind of enjoy the stuff first, and then I'll probably get it shortly after the first part of next year, and get the with the patches ready to go and stuff like that. And I have to let everybody be jealous for a couple months with everybody who has the new stuff, because you're getting the new one, right? You're getting the Xbox, right?
I am. Yeah.
Pre-ordered, already on its way, already waiting for you at your house.
No, I unfortunately, after the debacle that was the pre-launch of this, I had to get it from Amazon, which would be that would have been my last choice, right? And so they sent an email like 2 days after saying it's coming, we just don't know when.
Oh, nice.
And they sent it to everybody who bought it pre-order on Amazon. Like, you'll get it when you get
Just
it.
not sure when, right? Well, that makes sense.
Right. So I don't know if it'll be day one or a week later. I don't know. I don't even know if it'll be this year. But I bought it.
It's probably be this year. Well, it is 2020, and anything can happen in 2020 these days.
Well, and yeah. So whatever the case may be, I bought it, and it's theoretically coming at some point.
Right,
But
exactly.
I don't think your logic was wrong, and that just sucks, right?
That's kind of suck for him.
Like all that lead up, revenge.
All that badassery waiting to happen, and you just come in. Oh, there's one guy left. Don't let him shoot at us like that.
Let me see where he is.
Right by the marker.
Yeah, I mean, look, like all kinds of badassery,
Mm-hmm.
smack talk, all of it, right? Like this is some monumental revenge moment for this dude or whatever. And I flew up and hit him with rockets, and he's dead, like just like that. Oh man, there's guys down there too.
Oh, that hurt that guy.
Careful.
Yeah, that's actually been, and the one disappointing thing with episode 3 has been how easy, and this was, I mean, we cheated coming in with the rockets and stuff like that and all that, but how easy the boss fights have been. They've been pretty easy.
So I have to say, I don't feel like that's actually cheating, though. I mean,
I said cheesing, not cheating.
Oh,
cheesing.
Cheesing. Oh, okay. It is cheesing. That's cheesy. It is cheesy. I literally rolled in here with rockets, but the game makes that an option.
Mm-hmm. Might as well use it.
And I suppose on some front, why is it? We got enemies here somewhere. On some front, if some dude's gonna stare you down like that, and he doesn't come prepared for the fact that you could hit him with rockets, that's kind of his bad, right?
That's kind of his problem.
I mean, we're
for sure.
We're in a militarized zone that has helicopters,
do have
rockets, tanks.
Surface air missiles. So he really should have been more prepared.
So I feel like you just kind of got to know that and don't come running out the door.
Yeah, exactly. At least stay inside or something. Maybe
stay in the building.
Yeah, find a rock or something like that. Get behind.
Don't just come running out thinking you're gonna, somehow miraculously tank a guided rocket to the face. I don't know.
Yeah, not a good choice. Not a good choice.
With that though, we've been rambling on for 45 minutes, so we should probably take this moment to re-review our beers and
stop the rambling. Exactly.
Because next week we'll be back probably from Borderlands, and the week after probably from Destiny, and we'll have all new kinds of stuff to talk about. And so rather than ramble on, we should probably review our beers and see
next week. Next week is going to be a challenge. Which one we're going to choose to go to? I think you're right. Probably will be Borderlands, but it'll be interesting to see which one drives the interest. Interesting to see which one we find more interesting. There we go. There's the big words. So this has been a long day for me. All right, beers. The beer, the North Sky Dark Stout by Allagash. Good stuff.
Is it good?
Stuff. It is. I don't want to say it's hoppy, but it has a little bit of bitterness to it. But I think that's a stout in general. I think it has that stout bitterness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not, as we've talked about before, I don't drink a lot of stout. I enjoy stouts, but I don't drink a lot of them. Certainly not to the level of my wife, who just loves anything stout. You go any place, there's like imperial stouts, bourbon aged stouts here, stouts there, everywhere. She's a big drinker of stouts. So I think it has the stout bitterness that it's supposed to have to it. It's malty. It's kind of a little bit of chocolate in there. Very good. It's 8%. So a couple of these would make you feel good.
That's the problem with stouts right there. You nailed it. They're
It can be.
all
They can be
like,
pretty high up.
it's like barley wine.
Mm-hmm. But this is good. So for a stout, for what I imagine a stout's supposed to taste like, this is probably a solid 7.
Well, and I am a stout connoisseur. I love
Mm-hmm.
stout, so I'll have to look for it. That I want to give it a try. Mine is good. It's exactly what I was looking for.
Nice.
To- Totally average, but dark. I mean, it's got a nice dark taste to it, but it's not a heavy hitter, and it's very easily drinkable. It's probably like a 6. I mean, for off the shelf at the grocery store, easy drinking dark beer. It's great, and I like black lagers. I like black lagers a lot.
Trying to think. I think I've had a black lager, and I did enjoy it as well because I like lagers. So I think I did try to. I'm drawing a blank on the name or the brand or anything like that. But it was recently too, and it was pretty good. So I like how some of the breweries and stuff are going that route, playing with
Yeah.
the whole recipes and stuff like that.
Well, it has a little bit of that stout taste, but it lacks the syrupiness of a stout, which
Right.
I,
That's what this is
I'm
missing.
not going to argue with that decision to have less of that syrupy taste, because that, I mean, when you're looking for something to just enjoy, like a good, in my opinion, a good stout is an after dinner beer. It's like you have one, it's dessert.
Right.
This is something you could have a couple of, right? I mean, I could have 2 of these probably. Fine.
Yeah. Well, good stouts are always come in those little like 5-ounce taster glasses. Is usually what they'll serve them in too. So they're thick and syrupy, and like you said, they're desserts. So yeah,
The snifter. They give you the snifter glass.
the nose. Yeah, the nosing thing as they do with whiskeys, but it's really good. So yeah, so good, cool. So Black Lager,
Yeah.
Stella Artois was yours. Mine was Allagash North Sky Stout. And we had fun
Awesome.
killing a bad guy in Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
And 5 days from now, we'll be enjoying many new things.
Many new things. You could be sitting there on your
Too
brand
many
new
new
system.
things.
Too many new things. You could be sitting on a new system with all the next gen shit going on for you. So when that arrives, are you going to
running in
suddenly get sick and just be sick for the rest of the day from work? So you just hook up your new
No.
device?
No.
Not going to sit on stream anyway.
No. I'm honest. No, I'm honestly not going to do that. Here's the thing, and I think this is the weird thing about this next generation, right? Like, all it's basically going to bring to the table, I don't have any new games coming, right? I do get a
Right.
free update to Borderlands. I can look forward to it being locked in at a solid, locked 60 frames a second. I've got a OLED 8K TV,
There you go.
none of those games play at 8K yet.
Right,
Nothing's out
right.
that's going to play in 8K. And I don't think any of the games currently out, the upgrades, I don't think any of them are going to push it to even to 120, hertz. I think it's going to be 60 hertz, 4K. Maybe it'll go to 120. I don't know, but it'll be 60 frames a second locked in Borderlands, and maybe you can get higher than that in Forza 4 or Forza Horizon 4. But I don't, until Cyberpunk comes out, and I don't even know that there's could be that big of a difference between the current gen and the next gen on that either.
Right. That's true. They're released at the same time. And they're
It's
releasing
going
for
to be
current gens.
right. It's going to be the load times that are going to make it cool, but like, not enough to make me want to take time off of work.
When
You know what I
Cyberpunk
mean?
drops,
Like,
maybe a day or two off when Cyberpunk actually drops and is released, maybe, but not just for the gen
right.
itself, huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think about that, and that's just, that just seems ridiculous, right? Like, things are going to load up faster, things are going to look a little smoother, they're going to be a little faster frame rates, but that is it, And so I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's by no means, in my opinion, is that going to be like even if let's say I didn't even get it hooked up on day one, I wouldn't be like, mega disappointed by that. Does that make sense? Like, if I had to just keep playing on my current Xbox for the first day, like, that'd be all right, because it's not that different. When something else comes out and it's, a game I've been waiting for probably a year from now, when they're really making use of the next gen hardware to its fullest extent, yeah, then maybe.
Right.
And I think that's exactly how it was when the Xbox One came out. The first year that it was out, it was a lot of what I would call half-step games. Games that were probably started development when the previous generation was still the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of ported it over. You know what I mean? At like the last minute to the new gen. I think that's how this could be too.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, the current gens have been out there long enough. People have been able to program for them, so that totally makes sense. And I think it's cool that games like Cyberpunk and others are doing the whole, you buy, even if you don't have the Series X, if you buy the game today, you get the free upgrade to the next gen version whenever you go to the next gen consoles. I think that's a really cool feature that a lot of the games are doing. I kind of, I don't know, respect to them. So they don't have to do that. They could just make you buy the second version, the new version, but a lot of them are doing the whole, buy it today, you can upgrade when you upgrade the console. That's kind of cool.
Right. Well, and I think even more importantly, the plan for Microsoft is that all games here on out are supposedly going to still run on the old hardware and the PC and the new hardware, right? At least for the near foreseeable future. So that's cool. It's like there's no compelling reason forcing you to get the next gen. And to that end, I mean, the new Xbox Series S is more akin to an Xbox One X than it is anything else. It's got more processing power and it's more optimized. And it's obviously got an internal SSD in it, but from a horsepower standpoint, it's pretty similar to the One X.
Right.
So if they're going to continue to support the Series S, they're going to support the One X more or less. You know what I mean? I guess is kind of the way I would think of it.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But there is a little part of me, don't get me wrong, I am waiting. I'm waiting until the first part of next year, 2021 rolls around, all that good stuff. There is a part of it that is a little jealous of people who are getting it on launch and enjoying the upgrade features from day one. So, little piece of me.
Well,
so pour one out when you get your setup and you're looking at it. Pour one out for the homies who don't have it yet.
I will, for sure. All right. Well, all that said, we'll be back next week covering either Borderlands or Destiny. And and thanks for joining us tonight. Also, again, this game's getting a big update Monday. So excited about that. We'll probably be enjoying that Monday night in anticipation of launches on Tuesday. But yeah, this game's getting an update. And if you played this game at launch or you heard all the bad press about it, they've fixed a lot of stuff. And this game is actually a lot of fun. Absolutely. It is actually a lot of fun now. And if you like Splinter Cell, this game's about to be a lot more like that. So I think those are other things to think about. Fisher. Yes, if you're looking to channel your inner Sam Fisher, I think this game will be great for that. So with that said, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Have a good night, and Negan will do his typical sign off, I believe.
I think so. I think it's a good time to say it. Thanks for hang around, Burt. Good times, and everybody else. See ya.